Right, so then we've got that, and maybe we do the same thing here. Step off there. It's a little bit strange, but it's okay. Yeah, so it's just a lot of squares. Unfortunately, like even at this size, the circle is not big enough to look smooth. And I guess it's a circular ramp as well, so we're going up as well as going around, so that maybe that makes it a little bit more difficult to make it look smooth. I don't know about this. It's not as good as I would have hoped. Is that right? Yeah, I think that has to be like that, because I can make the middle one lower, I guess. Let's see, can I put a slab on the torch like that? Haha! I can do this. Alright. So you can do that. And this one's gonna be there. And okay, I need to, this one's gonna be there. And then that needs to be there. Alright. And then the next one further up. Oh crap, I needed that. And then the next one is not like that. That needs to be further up. So the railing is, I mean, yeah. The railing looks alright from the inside, I think. It's still floating in the air. No, I can't have it completely floating in the air like that. It looks a little bit too odd, I think. And just a whole lot of things, you know, just a whole lot of blocks floating in the air. Although that looks kind of cool. Look at that. Interesting. What are we doing here? We're doing that. So 1, 2, and 3. Interesting. And then stairs up. Interesting. I think the staircases are fine. I mean, looking at it as you're walking up, these are pretty good staircases. I just don't think we can have things floating in the air like that. I mean, it looks kind of cool, but it also looks kind of strange. Now the question is, how much more do I add? Alright, let's try to be minimalist, or let's just go with the policy of adding as little as possible and seeing what happens. So with that in mind, I kinda need to, no, I can't do that. How do I, okay, I can, no I can't, I can do that and put a block there. Okay, I can do that. So with that in mind, let's just add like one block to the underside of the railing. I guess 2 blocks there. So just close it up with the minimal amount of additions, and then see how that looks. See, just by doing that, it looks a lot thicker, doesn't it? Right? Look at that. Like, all of a sudden it's really thick and chunky. I don't know. I don't have any good answers. It doesn't look very good. I don't have any answers. I wanted the thin yellow line. That's what I wanted. But it just seems like you can't do it. Because now there's a thick grey line. Look at that. Yeah, I really wanted the thin yellow line. But it just seems like you can't do it. Blocks, man. This is difficult. Alright, so let's just put these in. So I guess we're gonna end up having a thick grey line, so yeah, I don't think we can avoid that. So now the question in my mind is, do we have a thick grey line on top of a thin yellow line? Or actually, no, you can't do that. No, never mind. That's not even a question anymore, because I have to, like, you can't put a sandstone slab there, for example, like that. You see how, you can't have a block that's half stone, half sandstone. So I guess that's not even a question. So the answer really is, there's going to be a thick grey line, and you're not going to get the thin yellow line at all. I can't reach that. Which is, I guess that's acceptable. And I guess the thin yellow line didn't really look very good anyway, because it's all square and chunky and not smooth. So yeah, I mean, other people have asked me, this sort of thing before for the Minecraft design school. How do you make good looking buildings when everything's so chunky in Minecraft? The answer is, sometimes you just can't. Sometimes you just have to deal with it and then not have what you wanted at the start. Sometimes you just have to go with plan B, as it were. And I guess that's the same in real life as well. You can't always, designs don't always turn out the way you want. Not even the way you first imagined, but the way you want. And you have to go with plan B sometimes. I mean, it's not to say that plan B isn't good. Plan B might be just fine, but it's just not what you had planned. And that sometimes it might be a good idea to have a plan B, or to think about the plan B more seriously, and even plan C, so that if one thing doesn't work, what will you do next? If you have a good plan B and a good plan C and so on and so forth, maybe it doesn't matter if plan A isn't very good. Yeah, so now I have the thick grey line and the thin yellow line. And the thin yellow line looks kind of out of place now. See, it looks really odd. Don't you think? Yeah, it looks really odd. Okay, we need to... Like, there's too many things. There's too many little shapes jutting out and all that stuff. So we're gonna have to clean up the shapes. Like, there's too many... So I'm gonna add more stone slabs, so that the slabs kind of line up, so that it's gonna be... So when you cut a section of the ramp, it's gonna be a rectangle, not this kind of, that indent and across and then up and then across. So I'm gonna clean up the cross section of the ramps, or try to, and hopefully that would improve how this looks. I mean, the grey line will be thicker, but I don't think that matters anymore. We're past that now. We're past that problem. We've got other problems. The question is how many? I guess the answer is that many slabs. So now that's a really thick grey line, but at least, you know, the bottom is clean. You know, it's kind of, it's flush. The grey and the yellow is you know, is flush. It's the same thing. Whereas there, it looks like there's two separate things trying to fight with each other, trying to, you know, trying to decide who's boss. Whereas here, it's one ramp at least. Even though the grey line is a bit thicker than I would like, and we don't see the yellow anymore from the outside, at least it looks like one ramp. Alright, so let's, I guess that's gonna have to close off there. And then we go with that. I need to get up onto the ledge. Alright, let's just walk across. And then we have to do the interior of the ring as well. I don't know. I'm not as I said, I'm not as happy as, I'm not completely happy with it, but wow, okay. Yeah, no, I'm not completely happy with it. The grey and the yellow. You want the yellow to contrast with the grey around the edge. That's why I wanted the yellow line, because there's so much stone. And I'm going to remove the gravel and the dirt and put in stone, I'm thinking. And so I want the yellow line against the grey background. So that would stand out. But now, you know, I've got this really thick grey line and you don't see the yellow line anymore, so I'm less happy. But at the same time, I'm thinking if I'm going to have lava behind and lava in between, it'll be grey against the red of the lava, or the orange of the lava. So it's going to be different again. So maybe that's fine. You know, grey against orange is different from yellow against grey and different from grey against grey. So I'm thinking that's fine. And if all else fails, I can always kind of switch this around, make the walkway either cobblestone or smooth stone slabs, maybe even cobblestone slabs, and then turn that into sandstone. I don't know, that doesn't. See, I really want a thin yellow line, but you can't do that, as I said earlier. You can't have, you know, half a block sandstone and half a block stone, so I can't just draw a slab line around the edge like that. So anyway, let's just keep going with this, and if it really doesn't work later on, then we'll come back and fix it, I guess. So that's gonna be like that. Yeah, that's gonna be like that there. And then that can be like that. Yeah, so not completely happy, but good enough for now. Yeah, so it's kind of thick and grey. Alright, so that's gonna be the ramp. I need to get rid of this dirt as well. Ah, that shape's pretty cool. Look at that. That actually is I like the shape of it, the two circles. So I'm glad I stuck with the circles. You know how earlier I said I might just do a circle in the bottom and then straight up across the top. I really like the two circles like that, even though you can't really see the whole thing, as I said earlier. That still looks really awesome. And that circle is going to look like it's floating in the air like that, and that's fine, I think. We can ignore physics sometimes. I like that. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. And I wasn't anticipating that too. Like, I wasn't anticipating that to look quite like that. I don't know what else I was thinking, but that's actually kind of cool. Look at that. Yeah, so, you know, you just, and that's the thing, like, if you just think of ideas in your head and you never try to build it, you never know, because what happened here was, if you were following, I had an idea, I built it, it wasn't as good as I imagined. You know, I had to do other things to fix it, so I changed it, and then when I finished changing, I looked back at it, and it looks fine, but different from what I imagined, but it looks pretty good, like this, like here, this view, look at that. Once the circles were completed, it looks really good. So, you know, as I said, and as you guys know, like a lot of people ask, you know, my designs don't turn out the way I imagined. Well, it doesn't have to. That's the thing, like, in the end, no one really knows or really is worried about what you imagined at first. What they really, you know, all they really care about, or all they really are concerned about is when they walk into your build, what they see there. And what you see is this, which is fine, I think. The two ramps going up like that. It's not what I imagined, but nobody can read my mind, right?